And he could use somebody to help us form a technique. Most people running a marathon, a 10K, a 5K, have never had anyone look at their running. They've never had anyone go. You know what? When you're just walking down the street, you don't line up well. Okay? We say posture. What is posture? You know, people say posture, and you say, okay, well, Sam's got nice posture. What the hell is that? If I was like this, could I knock it on the computer? It'd actually help me. Help me on my iPhone stuff if I had bad posture. But posture, I call it structural neutral. Posture is a place where from here, in good posture, I can actually move faster, articulate faster, do things better, not strain muscle structure, not put extraneous force on my neck. So in bad posture, we can all see how the neck's going to get jammed up. An interesting one, massage therapy. I had some therapists come to me that have now become some of the best trainers on the planet. But I had one therapist come to me and he's like, I do neck massage at Whole Foods. Who's had neck massage at Whole Foods? Yeah, like probably he's like that. Right? Good place to go in there, get rubbed, you're shopping. I told him, I said, okay, you're releasing people's muscle structures. Okay? What if it's already too released? What if their head's here already? They come in, man, my neck is killing me. Have you ever seen anybody like this? God, my neck is so tight. Right? That is extension. This is flexion. Right? So if this is flexion, and they come in like, they go in there and they release these muscles. And you get up, and the first thing the person does is go, yeah, that's so much better. Now I can really slump when I sit down. I can slump like nobody. I can put 6 pillows under my neck when I sleep. So these are the things we fix. These are the things that I want you guys to be able to see in each other. To look in the mirror and go, geez, what's going on with my neck? I got to fire these muscles and get my posture right. If I have a forward shoulder syndrome, I got to fire these muscles, bring my chest up and shoulders back. Okay. So I got to fire those muscles and get those muscles activated and get the muscles in front to understand they have to let go. That they have to give me space and open up. So a lot of times we're trying to open things up by rubbing them and beating on them and rolfing them. And it's not that there's anything wrong with those therapies. They're all awesome therapies. I have massage therapy in my place. I have rolfing, I have acupuncture. I have some holistic lifestyle coaching. We have all kinds of different stuff we do. But the crux is, if we can't make you get that you have to move better today and to pay some attention to it, then we're failing. And that's not fit. I mean, a lot of wrestlers you see. Here's their posture. I was a wrestler. This is my picture. In a yearbook. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh, jeez, it's everything wrong. My pelvis is tucked under, but you keep your pelvis away from the guy so you can't grab your hips. And it's like you look at this stuff and you go, wait a second, what can I do? So you're saying, okay, well, at my age, I don't know if I need any of that stuff. And so one of the biggest things is everyone can change. Everyone can change. And if something's beyond repair, if somebody came in and her arm was hanging off, and I know that, okay, ligaments are torn, she needs surgery, I'd be the first person to say, you need to get surgery. After, or rehab and make it better than it ever was, or better than as good as we can make it. But before, you may need the surgery first. I just had a person with a knee replacement. She's ready for a knee replacement. Like I looked at it, and everything's worn out. Her knees have a bend about like that. It's about 14 degrees inward and 14 degrees outward. But a lot of the stuff, it is below our radar right now. So if we go to sit down, and we find ourselves like this, sacrificing our back in order to make our legs not have to carry our weight down, then we're in trouble. Okay? We need to focus on good alignment, good structure, pointing the knees and feet are both hinge joints. They need to be lined up. So if I do squat down, my knees and feet should be traveling in the same direction. If my feet are traveling straight and I turn my knees out, a lot of guys do that. If my feet are pointing straight and my knees are falling in, I call that a lamp position, like a lamp comes in and then goes out at the base. If my feet are turned out, my knees are pointing forward. These are things that, if they're not corrected, they create torques and spiral strains all up and down the body. One of the first things we look at is, how do you walk? If you walk in your duck walker, that's not good. If you walk in your pigeon-toed, a lot of seniors get pigeon-toed, duck walking. Now, they basically can spot Parkinson's disease faster with gait than they can with tests. They can look at your gait. And I said that Michael J. Fox had Parkinson's disease 6 years before he was diagnosed. I saw him on Family Ties. I watched Family Ties, all right. But he was doing this thing where his hand was shaking and he put it behind his back, and I said, I have 6 Parkinson's clients and they all do that. I'm like, oh, he's got Parkies, honey. My wife's a medical person and she's like, get out of here. If he had Parkies, it'd be all over the news. Like 5 years later, it came out that he had Parkinson's disease, right? So what you can do, like what can I show you today? These things, thinking about your alignment, thinking about your structure. If you have bad posture, it's time to change it. Many, many people come in for a session or two. Charlie, I just did 1 session with you, right? So I did 1 session with Charlie, and Charlie moves pretty damn well. But all I did was kind of change his perspective on things he needs to work on so that he doesn't constantly have this strain on his body. You know, he was mechanized, strong. He's a very strong, fit guy. I bet there's not, you know, a lot of elite level athletes that have the body fat percentage Charlie does. He eats flawlessly, he moves a lot, he loves movement, right? But it was like he was engaging too hard to make his movements. So those muscles are always under this tension strain instead of loose and flowing, like you picture an actor. And he dances too, so he has that flowing ability too. But a lot of people need more flow, but they need more power. So I want to talk real quickly. I think I got 2 minutes left. Okay. There's a lot of misnomers in exercise. A lot of misnamed things. Balance versus stability is one of my favorites. Okay? Okay. Senior citizens need better balance. I don't think senior citizens need this. Sorry. I think what they need is this. Get ready. Oh, it's icy. Right? It's stability they need, not balance. We've misnamed it. Okay? Loose versus length. If anything's loose, if that chair was loose that Ron's sitting on, he'd be a little cautious about leaning back. If my tires were loose on my car, I'd be a little scared. We technically need rims, but loose everywhere else in the world is a bad thing. Except, I want to feel loose. I can tell you for a fact, no you don't. You want to feel normal. You want to feel neutral. You want to be able to flow. You want to be able to shuck and jive and move. They say senior citizens don't need accuracy, speed. And I go, well, how fast do I trip? You guys tell me how fast it takes for my foot to hit the ground. I'm walking. If I didn't get my foot forward, I'd hit my face on the ground. Right? They need some speed. They need some movement. But what do you see? Sit and be fit. I call sit and be fit, sit and be seated. And perfectly healthy people walk into a room and sit down to exercise, or worse yet, walk into a room and lay down to exercise. I find that a really bad idea. I can already lay down just fine. Lay down and engage your abs. Your abs shouldn't engage when you lay down. They're supposed to turn off. I'm supposed to relax when I lay down. Your brain gets this, and a lot of the stuff Charlie's doing, this is back to primal man, right? This is kind of the, I wouldn't say paleo, but within that realm. It's what we used to do things 150, 200, 300 years ago. But now we lay down to exercise. I'm like, wait, most of the exercise, Ron was in yesterday, as a matter of fact, did we do anything laying down?
No.
We didn't do one thing where he was on his back. Why? He knows how to lay down. I've seen him. Look at him now.
I did afterward, though, for about an hour.
You can lay down all you want. But these are some of the things, like there's a lot of misnomers, and hopefully when this book gets published, you'll see a lot of these. But it's amazing the stuff we have talked ourselves into, and we try to do functional fitness. I brought a lot of practitioners together. I just had a dinner, and there's like 50 of us there. And I look around and go, who are those people? They don't work for me. They do work for me. They all work for my center. And we all have different thoughts and ideas, but the key is to get people's perspective to change. That's really what it's all about, and get people to understand that this is your body. I call it the body you were born to live in. You may not like it, it may not look like hers, or it may not look like hers or mine or whatever. And I don't think there's anybody in the world who looks at their body every day and goes, love it. All of us are like, I can do a little bit of here and a little bit of there, and then someone else sees you and you're like, you're incredible. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.
I want to ask you a question before you go. So, among our students here, this is the question that I think so many face is they want more endurance, right? They want more endurance that you get from running, swimming. They want strength, flexibility, and probably three main things. And yet to go at this in dysfunctional ways is just strengthening your dysfunction. And but they also want to get out and start getting in shape. What's your advice to how to approach from average person here? How would you have them go about that?
And to me, I mean, one of the biggest things is you know, people ask me all the time, well, how does your personal training thing work? And I'm like, I call it a front-loaded system. You know, you pay your mortgage, you're paying all the interest up front. I'd rather have you pay a hell of a lot of attention up front and then be able to kind of pump and glide because you know what you're doing. It's very difficult for me to say, okay, the best thing you can do is go walking, when I know a lot of you guys are pigeon-toed, duck walkers, have bad arches, knees that aren't functioning properly. So if you don't get that data and you just say, I'm going to start walking 3 miles a day, you're heading down the wrong road. If you say, I want to get in great shape, you know, one of the fun things I find is the boot camp concept. Well, yeah, you're going to get endurance, you're going to get strength, you're going to do push-ups, you're going to get all these different things, generally right up to the point where you get hurt. Find me any military guys in here? Find me a military guy. I have 2 Marines that have worked for me and stuff like that, who loved boot camp. Oh, I used to love the boot camp. We woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, we carried big logs, it was great, it was wonderful. No, they all got hurt. Every one of them was like, my shoulder still bugged me from boot camp. My knees hurt me from boot camp. They had me run in 10-pound shoes. You know, they had me run with a gun above my head. So my shoulders don't work right now. You know, and that's the kind of stuff I hear. But like people go, oh, I'm going to dive into a boot camp, I'm going to dive into this yoga class. You know, the key thing to do is try and look at yourself with, you know, if you're not going to hire professional help, to take a really good look at yourself in just everyday movements. Okay, these huge mirrors I have at my shop aren't so we can look in there every day and go, how do I look there? They're so we can look, show you, this is a discrepancy. See how your shoulder sits in here? We want to fire the muscles to wrap that back. And it's as easy for me as just going like this, but for a lot of people, as soon as they let go, they go. Because this stuff is pulled, taut, and spring-loaded. So it's hard for me to say, well, the best thing you can do is get professional help. Key. Can all of us afford professional help? Maybe not. You know, one of the things I throw out there a lot is a lot of times I'm taking in new interns. My interns have to learn they need guinea pigs. They need people that they can go and look at and say, hey, Sam, I think I see this in her. I think I see this in him. Is he doing the thing you were talking about the other day? And, you know, so a lot of times we can do stuff at a discount or even for free sometimes. If you want to get on that list, my cards are out there. They're a pretty blue card like this. You know, give me a shout, and I'll put you on the list when I have a new intern. You know, if it's something like, okay, I can't afford this or whatever. I do have a couple of trainers who are willing to do stuff for half off for anyone who's attended the Cropley seminar. So you just got to call me and say, hey, I was at the Cropley seminar. That's simple, and we'll do that. But it's like, if that doesn't happen, what I find is people just get fit enough to hurt themselves. And that's one of the chapters of my book, Strong Enough to Hurt Yourself, it's called. We get strong, we start feeling good, and I don't know anybody at any walk of life who hasn't gone through this. You start feeling good, all of a sudden you're like, man, I can do that butterfly jump in boot camp, woohoo! I'm really strong, I'm really, ow, what the hell was that? You know, and that's what happens next. It's because we're not thinking about alignment, posture, structure. How much is enough? Right? That's something I talked about with you. How much is enough? How much is too much? And it's different for everybody. Maybe Dave Scott can go run 6 Ironmans and win them all. Right? Incredible. But he got hit by a car, not so good anymore. And now it's hard. Lots and lots of rehab. He's really finding out what exercise is for now. To me, in definition, exercise should be corrective. So it should fix things. One of the things might be endurance, strength, power, you know, posture. It should fix those things. Right?
Sam,
I hope that helps.
Okay.